Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video presentation, I am going to demonstrate about the Syn Flood attack. Before we start the Syn Flood attack demonstration, so let's have a quick overview of the TCP/IP three-way handshake. So when the client and server systems or two systems, they want TCP connection. Initially, the client sent the request with Syn flag enabled in the TCP header, and the destination system, let's call server here, responds with SYN and acknowledgement enabled in its TCP header, and the client finally responds to the server with ACK flag enabled in its TCP header. So once this three-way communication happens, a TCP connection is established between two systems. Now, this particular protocol is used by the attackers. The vulnerabilities in this three-way handshake is used by the attackers to initiate the attack. One such attack is called Syn Flood attack. A Syn Flood attack is a form of DOS attack on data communication in which an attacker rapidly initiates a connection to a server without finalizing the connection. So what happens in this attack? The attacker sends SYN request. The server responds with SYN and acknowledgement, but the attacker would not finalize the connection, would not send the acknowledgement packet to the server. So the server would be waiting for the acknowledgement response from the client. So this is for a single request. The server is waiting for the acknowledgement. But however, the attacker would initiate hundreds and thousands of such TCP connection, and this attacker would not finalize the connection with the server by sending the acknowledgement. Suppose the attacker is initiating 1000 connections, then for all the 1000 connections, the server would be waiting for the acknowledgement packet, and the attacker would not send the acknowledgement packet. So for each and every TCP connection, some amount of resources, memory, and processing is allocated by the server. And by this way, the attacker tries to overwhelm the resources, memory and processing resources in the target site, and by this way, make the service not available. So we can perform this attack using Hping3 as well as using MSF console. So let's try this attack using the Hping3. So the target is going to be the Metasploitable 2, and the source is the Kali Linux. So just open the browser and try to access the web page of the Metasploitable 2 using its IP address. We are able to access the web page of the Metasploitable 2. However, this would be affected while the attack is ongoing. Now let's try to run a script which would check whether the page is accessible or not. And yes, it's accessible because the response code returned is 200 and it's accessible within 0.032098 seconds. Okay. However, after the attack, the response code should be coming like this 00, which indicates that the page is not accessible. So let's open the attack a terminal for open a terminal for attacking. So sudo hping3 So we are going to perform the Syn Flood attack. So the flag S is used. So we are going to flood the target, send too many packets. So we use this flag dash dash flood. Okay, then also we can hide our IP address dash dash rand source then dash p. So we are going to target port number 80 and finally the IP address of the target system. So let me run the Wireshark. So we are going to capture the traffic which is coming in the uh, host only adapter. Just move the cursor over the adapter and you can find the IP address. So we want to capture through the IP 192.168.56.101, which belongs to the local area network. Okay, and let's initiate the attack. System is hanging. So now the attack started now. Okay, then check the Wireshark for the traffic. So the target is 105 and you can see the source IP address, it's keep changing. Okay, it's not fixed and it is also not revealing the real IP address of the attacker system. And you can see the real IP address is 101, but since we use the dash dash random source, it is using some random IP address as the source address. Okay, then let's check. Let's close this browser. Open another session. 192. Now you can see there is a delay, some amount of delay, but still it's opening. But you would have noticed some amount of delay was there in opening this page. Even if you refresh, you can see there is a delay. There is a delay for few seconds. You can notice that. Yeah, you can see there is a delay. Still, you know, the response has not yet come. Only the previous cache is displayed here. And in fact you can close the session and open the session again, open the browser again. Yeah, there was some delay. And for accurate analysis of the DOS impact, we can check with the script. So I'm just executing the script and you can notice that the response code is 00. what it implies is that even after 2 seconds, the page is not accessible. So the page is accessible after maybe 2 or 3 seconds. There is a delay of 2 or 3 seconds. So even you can increase the impact by just what you can do is you can open one more terminal. You can open as many terminal as possible from your side. Okay, I'm creating one more thread. So I'm creating one more thread here. Okay, then I'm going to flood the target from another terminal. So this is distributed attack. Now it's going to be like if you're doing the same thing from different system, it's going to be distributed, but still we are doing from the same system, but the impact would be increasing now. Um, let's try to refresh. Let's try to refresh. Yeah, there is a delay in opening. That's because of the impact of the denial of service attack. Also, you can check with the script, and you can notice even after 2 seconds, the page is not accessible, and you can observe the traffic here in the Wireshark. And when the time goes up, then the impact would be more. So now if you want to analyze the traffic from the victim system, so on Linux systems there's a command that's called top command. So you can use the top command and observe the resource usage in the target system. Okay, however, the impact of the DOS is clearly demonstrated by this script. Okay, so there is some amount of delay is there, and if you increase the parallelism, like concurrently, if you open more terminal and if you execute the Hping3 command simultaneously in many terminals, if you make this attack more distributed, then the impact would be more. So with this, I conclude the denial of service attack, Syn Flood attack using Hping3 tool. Thank you.